it is I, Hellgear, and my fellow citizens of the Crowler Town Beatdown have been speculating and non-stop talking about this guy right here. Now, the problem is we won't get the effect of this guy until March 7th, when I wanted to properly cover this card. But since people are still constantly talking about this, I might as well just bring it up now, and then when this guy's effect is revealed, I'll talk more about it later. So as you can see, this is a level 5 Earth Machine monster known as Ancient Gear Dragon. Yes, Ancient Gear's getting another mid-level monster. And I'm gonna be real with you, I'm not sold on this thing. You know, I'm not sold on another level 5 Ancient Gear monster. And what I was telling people is I'm not going to be excited about this until I see the effect. Because frankly, I'm not too impressed. Well, Hellgear, you're saying all of that, but you have an Ancient Gear deck. Why you gotta rip on this new support that's coming out? Alright, look, let's be real, okay? Mid-level Ancient Gear game has not been the best. In fact, all the mid-level Ancient Gear game has sucked. So, if this doesn't have a really bitchin' effect, it's going to be a waste of cardboard. You're just saying that to rip on this. You're not a part of the real Crowler Town Beatdown. You're not into that. Well, see, here's the problem with that to the peanut gallery. Like all things, I can back this up with some facts. So let's talk about the Ancient Gear mid-game. And luckily, I have this wonderful thing right here. The old school Ancient Gear structure deck, where I put all of those old cards in. So, humor me for a couple of seconds. And with that, I'm going to tell you this. Even back in the days, Ancient Gear mid-game was not the best. But you don't have to take my word for it. All you got to do is check out these here facts. So let's start at the beginning, all the way back in the Lost Millennium with Ancient Gear Beast. Let's zoom in on this baby right here and get everybody in focus here. See? This is a level 6 Earth Machine. Cannot be, with 2 racks both ways for a level 6. It's Earth Machine. Cannot be special summoned. The effects of your opponent's effect monsters that this card destroys as a result of battle are negated. And of course, the textbook Ancient Gear effect of your opponents not being able to use spells or traps when this baby attacks. Like, the only good purpose, even back then, in the beginning of the GX era where this card debuted, it just shut off any additional effects. Like if you got hit with a Reflect Bounder or a DD Warrior Lady, right? Those effects wouldn't work. But even back then, Ancient Gear Beast wasn't used, and it's a level 6 monster. Now, let's go into the old day structure deck that I just showed off and show off the next guy. We have Ancient Gear Gadgetron Chimera. This is another level 6 with 2300 attack and 1300 in the back. And this guy worked with the gadget monsters. Depending on which one you tributed, you got the following effects. If you tributed Green Gadget, it got 300 attack. If you tributed Red Gadget and the card successfully attacks your opponent directly, you dealt an additional 500 burn. Or if you attributed yellow gadget and you destroyed an opponent's monster by battle, you inflicted the slight burn damage. Now, I'll be real with you. This had a little bit more punch than Ancient Gear Beast, but if you weren't playing the Ancient Gear structure deck, which focused solely on combining it with the gadgets, this was a pretty much Snoresville. But these are level 6 monsters. Dragon's a level 5. Well, that's where Ancient Gear Engineer comes in. And this is a level 5 Earth Machine. 1,500 points both ways. Negate the effects of any trap card that targets this card and destroy it. If it attacks, your opponent cannot activate spells and traps like all the textbook Ancient Gear monsters. And then there's this one. When this card attacks, destroy a spell or trap on your opponent's side of the field at the end of the damage step. So, I'll be real with you. Blasting your opponent's back row is fine, but 1,500 attack on a mid-level monster is bad. You know? Now, if Engineer had Gadgetron Chimera's stats, you know, having 2,300 attack, then I can understand this being played because it's got some muscle on it. But 1,500 attack points is basic stats for low-level monsters. And when you look at this time where there were a lot of low-level monsters that had like 1,600 attack, or for example, the Luster Dragon, which had 1,900 attack, Spear Dragon that had 1,900 attack, you know, there were many monsters that just outclassed this card. So, if you did manage to clap something weak, someone would probably summon something a lot stronger and then take it off of your board. Lord. So as you can tell, my thoughts on mid-level Ancient Gear game haven't been the best because it has a track record of bad Ancient Gears at the mid-level. This is why I reserve my judgment on seeing the effects of Ancient Gear Dragon. Because if these three predecessors at mid-level weren't the best, let's hope that Ancient Gear Dragon, if it does as an ultra rare, because it is printed as an ultra rare for this V-Jump, doesn't have a really good effect. Otherwise, it's a waste of cardboard. But you guys tell me what you think in the comments section below. Is Ancient Gear Dragon going to be worth its weight in cardboard? Is it going to be worth the ultra rare slot? And yes, I will be doing a follow-up of this once we figure out what Ancient Gear Dragon does. So, tell me your thoughts, and I will see you guys next time.